Hi Virgo, welcome to your monthly tarot reading for the month of April with me, Raphael Ray from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for joining me. So without further ado, because I am slightly late on these and I apologise for that, guys, it's been a crazy month. I would like to bless both of these decks with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good, as always. So let's see what your actions and your interactions have in store for you, Virgo, in the month of April. If you haven't had a chance, check out your Mercury retrograde special in Aries. I think it will kind of give you a heads up because we've still got another 15 days of this. So yeah, take a look and see what you think. So your actions and your interactions at the world at large. Okay, so this is a really great card actually for actions and interactions. You get the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands. That's the Mercury retrograde in action right there. So who is the Queen of Wands? The Queen of Wands as a person would be a fire sign female, so she would be an Aries, a Sagittarius or a Leo. Now I usually, because each one of the court cards, especially the major three, kind of they have a sign, so you know, usually I see her as a Leo. But I will say this is somebody that is fun, vibrant, dynamic, somebody that is very focused, very driven, somebody that's really spirited, somebody that says what they think and what they feel. This is the sort of person, what you see is what you get with them. This is also somebody that's highly spirited, somebody that's got a lot of energy, a lot of passion for life. And this is very often somebody that is deeply in touch with their own femininity, their own innate wisdom, sensuality, sexuality. This is somebody that really knows how to do life in an emotive way. So when you see the Queen of Wands, that's who she is as a person. So your actions and your interactions are basically saying that you need to embody these characteristics. You need to bring this into your life now. So it may well be, especially under the retrograde, that you find yourself interacting with somebody that has these qualities. So it could be somebody of this star sign, but it could be also somebody that has a lot of fire in their chart. You know, it could be a woman that has these characteristics, you know, of this fiery nature. Now, when the court cards represent an aspect or an archetype of self, what they're effectively saying is that you need to embody these qualities. You need to find a way to make sure that you are doing, approaching, and certainly living, you know, because this is the actions and interactions. And it's fire as well, you know, you've got the fire, you've got a Wands card, which is fire, in the fire sector. And this is saying that you need to be deeply involved in life this month. You need to be deeply involved in what's happening around you. And more importantly, you need to take innate control and command of what is happening in your life at this moment in time. So, you know, that's the other thing about the Queen of Wands. She rules. She absolutely rules. All of the court cards do, but they have their own way of doing it. You know, like the Cups cards tend to do things sort of a bit more hands off, and they tend to flow with things and do it in an artistic sort of manner. You know, or an emotional manner, whereas the Wands, they're all about doing. They're about grabbing life by the horns and making things happen. They're about being present, you know, in the here and now. And I kind of feel that for you. You guys are, you know, the Queen of Wands is saying to you this month, it's about doing life, it's about being a part of life. And what are the qualities of Leo as a person? Well, the qualities of Leo are about putting yourself out there on the stage to be seen. The other thing about Leo is it's not just about leadership, because leadership isn't just about look at me, do what I do as I say. Leadership is about showing people how you expect things to be done. This is about you leading by example. It's about you being seen to be doing, you know, talk your talk. It's about walking your talk. It's not enough just to say to people this is how it's done. It's about showing them how it's done as well, and you know, demonstrating on a very real practical level how you expect things to be done. So your actions and your interactions this month are about getting in touch with life, about being part of life, about really participating in it and being seen to do so. And you know, it stand up and be counted, you know, is the message that I'm getting from that. So your money and your materials this month. Let's see. Okay. You get, wow, look at that. So you've got fire in the fire sector. You've got the pentacles in the money and materials, which is the earth sector. So the Knight of Wands, and I did that earlier, see that with the pentacles. I must be anticipating the cards that are coming. So the Knight of Pentacles talks about a mode of transport. If you own a car, if you own a bike, if you know, this month may well be, it will see you having to repair, it will see you having to make changes or make adaptations to your mode of transport. If this month you have something come up, you know, where car doesn't start the first time, or the brakes on the bike aren't quite what they should be, anything that you have that can be improved, this is the time to do it. Underneath a Mercury retrograde, it's not just about you know, going over old ground, or it's actually about fixing things, making sure that they work properly to the best of your advantage and their ability. And the Knight of Pentacles is a mode of transport. It can be a bike, a 4x4, a car, a horse and cart, a horse itself. Anything that gets you from A to B, that facilitates your travel in some way, shape or form, will need to be looked at this month. And it's a really good idea for you to do so. And if you feel to, get a second opinion. The other part of this as well, because in your money and your materials, it's your finances as well. This talks about you finding dynamic ways to actually start to generate more money, more abundance, or finding ways, certainly with this. So, you know, the Queen of Wands is telling you to get more active in life. The Knight of Pentacles, which is a movement or a transport card, is talking about finding ways to generate more money, to bring more money into your world, into your everyday existence. And one of the best ways that you're going to do that is to actually be out there. This is about you going out and making connections. This is about you going out and working with people or finding new opportunities. You know, the knight, what is a knight? One of the things about the knights in the, you know, in the old world is knights would go on quests. They would go out into the world. And therefore the knights represent modes of transport, or they represent quests, or situations that we choose to interact with or put ourselves or align ourselves to. So your quest, you know, the Knight of Pentacles, is to go out into the world and find more money. Your quest is to go out and interact with life, but interact with people, to demonstrate your skills so that you can bring more income, more finance, more abundance into your life. So, you know, in terms of physical health, for you guys, again, I'm not a doctor. I am a holistic therapist, but you know, that's as far as it goes for me, so I can't give you medical advice. But I can tell you, in terms of your energy and your vitality, this month you've got lots of it. You've got lots of prowess, you've got lots of energy, lots of vigor. You know, the body is strong this month. This would be a really, really great time for you to, you know, tap into that mind-body connection and really start to ask yourself how you can be dynamic with your energy. You know, so your money and your materials, what are your materials? Your materials are your house, your car, your physical body. You know, it represents so much more than just this stuff. Okay, so your communications. Your communications. This is your text messages, phone calls, emails, social media, etc., etc. The Two of Cups. This is stunning. Because the Two of Cups represents partnerships, it represents being a part of something, it represents commitment, but it also represents the choice of choosing to, you know, it represents the moment where you choose to align yourself or commit to something. And in your communications, this basically says that any partnerships that you embark on, especially financial ones, you know, any contacts that come your way this month, certainly after the 15th, because obviously the retrograde is still happening until then, are blessed. You know, your communications with people, your communications with loved ones, with any sort of partnership or union, are actually blessed this month. You know, the Two of Cups is, not just about the commitment, it's not just about love, it actually represents true love. It represents a union that is divine because it's whole and complete. And so when this falls in your communication sector, effectively what it's saying to you is you have the golden tongue this month. You know, you can ask for what it is that you want. You can, and it's like you'll just find the way to speak. I don't know if you've seen the film Limitless. You know, and he says, this sparkling cocktail of bullshit comes out of my mouth and people just love what I'm saying. And it's not to say that what is going to be coming out of your mouth is bullshit, but what I'm saying is you have the gift of the gab this month. You have the ability to think fast enough to deliver what it is that people want and need to hear from you in order to believe in you. And that's a really, really powerful place to be in. Don't misuse that power, because we're in an 11 year. If you haven't seen my numerology 11 year video, go and watch it and you will understand why it's not a good idea for anybody, whatever sign they are, to misuse the abilities that they are given or the gifts that they are given this year, because it will backfire. But yeah, you have the golden tongue. Your communications are blessed, your understandings, your, you know, certainly in a financial sense, people that you partner with, people that you desire to partner with or come to you and say, look, I really want to work with you. You know, like I said, don't sign anything if you can up until, you know, the 16th onwards. And in fact, I probably wouldn't even do the 16th either, because you've got the new moon maybe 2 days after that. So around the 18th, you're probably, you know, that's going to do you well. But yeah, communications look great this month. Really, really great. I mean, so far, what I'm seeing here is just a lot of power. You know, you've got a lot of physical power, a lot of vitality. You've got the strength of will. You know, that's the other thing about the wands. They're your willpower. Now, this is interesting. You've got the Death card, which is the sign of Scorpio, actually. But it also represents transformation. And death is one of those things that we will face... Excuse me. Death is one of those things that we will face multiple times throughout our lifespan. It's not just, you know, our own physical death or the death of a loved one, the death of a friend, partner, whatever. Death, when you see the Death card, it's not talking about a physical death. It's usually talking about an emotional or a spiritual, or, you know, just the death of the self that you were, so that you can emerge into a brighter and more powerful being. The Death card represents winter as a season. And what is winter? Winter is the dying of everything, and it clears the decks so that when spring comes, all of that new life can come bursting forward and bursting through. So actually the Death card is vital for us. So this talks in your heart and your hearth. So this is your relationships. So it's interesting because you've had a precursor here saying that your communications, especially on a partnership level, are actually quite blessed. And then you've got the Death card in the heart and half, which is your family, your interactions, if you're partnered, if you're looking for a partner. The message here is that some part of self, some outmoded or outdated way of thinking, especially in terms of your personal relationships, now needs to change. So if you're partnered, this is talking about finding some way to, you know, if you've been arguing, if you've had communications that might have been, you know, a bit spirited, let's say, this is about quashing it. Don't let it linger. Don't let it continue. Don't let one, you know, little misunderstanding become this and become that and and it just rolls on. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of your energy. If you are single, this is about truly letting the ex go. If you are single, this is about truly moving forward and saying, right, that's what I required from a partner in the past, and this is what I require from a partner now. This is about acknowledging the, you know, this is what's coming through now, is this is about acknowledging who you were, honoring that person in total love, reverence and respect, and saying that served me for a time, but it is no longer who I am, and it's no longer the experience that I choose to have, and therefore to welcome into my life the partner that I need, that reflects who I actually am now. And that's what this is talking about, taking life by the reins, taking your relationships by the reins. And that's not to say, you know, ramrod over other people's decisions or thoughts or feelings and, you know, rule with an iron fist. It's actually saying the more you love and cherish and honor yourself, the more your true desires. And what are your truest desires? Well, everyone's true desires is to have, you know, the loving relationship, the relationship where they can actually be themselves. And this is the other thing that I'm picking up from this as well. This is very much what I can see here is about authenticity. It's about truly honoring who you are and saying, do you know what, I'm no longer ashamed to admit that this is what I want. I'm no longer ashamed to admit that this is what I need. That's what I'm getting from this. You know, this is about authenticity. It's about truly having the desire to be oneself and really just respect that, and more importantly be respected for it. But yeah, there's definitely, I would say this as well, especially because of the retrograde. You've got Mars, which is you've got Mercury, sorry, which is retrograde in the sign of Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is the surgeon. There will be someone or something that is leaving your life in terms of a relationship. And that could be a friend, it could be a lover, it could be somebody that you used to date, it could be a friends with benefits, you know, and you're saying, actually, that's not what I need anymore. I actually require more than that. But if you're partnered, this is about letting, you know, something that is actually relatively small, it's about letting that go now. Your key to the month, you get the Hierophant. The Hierophant says that you are about to come into some sort of new understanding. It talks about the status quo. It talks about the establishment. It talks about the rules and the regulations. And what this kind of says to me is you are, like I said, you're about your authenticity now. You're about being who you actually are. And the only way to truly be who you are is to delve deep. And the other tagline for the Hierophant card is about initiation. You're about to be initiated into and by life itself. And the way that you get there is allowing the things that need to die. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you and what, quite frankly, doesn't have any place. The other part of the Hierophant as well, because it represents the sign of Taurus, it's about stability and security. What do you define those things as, and what do you need to let go of that is not allowing you to have the true expression of that that experience? So let me know how this plays out for you. I'm really intrigued, actually. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Have an amazing month, and I will see you very soon for more videos. Take care.